And we have four outstanding speakers on the panel. We have two law professors, Michael Paulson and Helen Irving. We have a political scientist from Keith Whittington from Princeton, and we have a historian, Saul Cornell. So this is the interdisciplinary panel. This is also the international panel because we have a special welcome to Helen Irving from University of Sydney.
And I'm from Brooklyn originally.
Also another country.
And those are talking international.
I wasn't planning to point that out, but now that you've let people know, we won't be able to keep that a secret anymore. The order in which they're going to be presenting is that Keith Whittington is going to begin, and then followed by Saul Cornell, Michael Paulson, and then Helen Irving.
So I was planning on sleeping through the first few minutes before I had to go.
You didn't pay attention to my email.
I don't pay attention to any emails. Okay, so I was asked to talk some about why originalism and the normative arguments potentially in favor of originalism. And so I have to admit I wear sort of multiple hats or maybe different masks depending on what I'm doing as I think about things. So as I work more as an empirical political scientist, my view about how judges behave is probably a little closer to Lawrence Friedman's way of thinking about the relationship between law and what judges do and society and politics more generally. Here, in thinking about originalism, I'm wearing more of a political theorist hat rather than an empirical political scientist, so I'm not necessarily very confident that judges are likely to be influenced by originalist arguments or behave in particularly originalist ways, but I think it's an interesting theory. And it has interesting features that connect it to democratic theory and other ways of thinking about interpretation of text generally. So in thinking about normative arguments for originalism, I generally approach this in trying to think about internal arguments and external arguments, and I think of them as working together. The internal argument is, and they're both sort of potentially controversial, of course, but the internal argument I take as a starting point, thinking that there's some common ground about what it is we think judges are supposed to be doing, what it is that we take them to be doing that helps legitimate the activity of judicial review. And so if we can unpack to some degree what it is they claim they're doing or what it is we say